we can tell you a little bit of breaking news on this, too. We can report that the Berkshire Hathaway board did indeed meet yesterday, and they voted unanimously to name Greg Abel as president and CEO come January 1st of 2026. And the board also voted that Warren Buffett will remain chairman as of January 1st, too. So some of these rumors of his retirement have been greatly exaggerated. He said at the time when he was talking that he'd be sticking around. He didn't say in what capacity. And I asked him after the meeting, along with Greg, I ran backstage and asked them about that. They said they still had to talk about that. Greg was still kind of processing what had just happened. But at that board meeting yesterday, they did vote on that arrangement, and Warren Buffett will remain as chairman. He's 94 years old right now. He is by far the oldest CEO among the S&P 500. I don't think there's anybody else even in their 90s. And this is something that will happen gradually again, this transition to keep Warren Buffett around. He talked a lot this weekend, Joe, about how they have almost $350 billion in cash, and they would love to do some deals, particularly if things get interesting in the markets. So I think that's kind of what they're hoping to get out there at this point, this idea that this is the next step in the transition, but Buffett's not exactly exiting the stage. He wants Greg to be making all those decisions. He'll have the final say on all these operating costs. I think the board is kind of hoping that he'll be there to help with capital allocation and any big potential deals that come through. But it does give Greg Abel some protection from anybody who looks and says he's not Warren Buffett.
Yeah. You knew this day was coming, obviously, and when you call it a surprise, it was a surprise the way he did it, but it wasn't a surprise to me that he decided to do that. As far as rock star reception, they have that commercial. Maybe your average CEO shouldn't really be saying that to Billy Idol, but Billy Idol, I think, would defer to Warren Buffett as the ultimate rock star. I don't think they're trying to think, maybe Jagger. I don't know. There's not. Warren definitely could counter those crazy commercials. He is obviously certainly a rock star. And you think about, these days, age of retirement, and it used to be 65, and then people said, well, 70 is a totally different age now. I don't know how it happened, but it did. I mean, we're talking someone it's going to be 25 years past the age of 70. And he's special, and he's still totally with it and everything else. But, when someone said that, he could live to 130. I'm not saying he's not going to. But even 130, what's that expression? None of us are leaving here alive. So we are getting out of here alive. So we know that it's just the way it is. It's the way life is. And I mean, he really has given Greg Abel a lot of, obviously, he's learned at the feet of the master for how long now? I mean, it's been a long grooming. There's a lot of people.
It's been 26 years. I think they first met in 1999 when Buffett made that investment in Mid-American Energy. Yeah, right. So 26 years to be working with them. And look, this is something that we knew back in 2021 that Greg Abel was the chosen one, that he was going to be the next CEO because Charlie Munger slipped at the annual meeting that year. So, what was that, 4 years ago? Slipped and said, well, Greg will take care of the culture. And so then, Buffett told us the next day, that is the plan. We talked to Ron Olson over the weekend, a Berkshire board member until this most recent. He just stepped down from the board yesterday. But Ron Olson said that Greg had been the chosen one for years before that. So this has been a very long-term transition. Greg Abel has stepped up and taken more and more responsibility. He was vice chairman, or he is vice chairman right now, in charge of all the non-insurance companies at Berkshire Hathaway. But he's been playing a bigger and bigger role in terms of some of the capital allocation, too. He went to Japan and was the one responsible for putting this big investment in those 5 Japanese trading houses. He's got big plans with the energy company after running that and knows about capital allocation and laying things out for big plans. For big projects. And one of the things Buffett talked about over the weekend was the idea that in this country, we don't have enough energy production for the needs that are required, and that could take some help from government, the federal government, to do things that we would normally only do in wartime, where you have 50 different states and lots of local jurisdictions that all have their own rules. And it's pretty tough to get any new electric grids kind of passed through all of those various regulatory overhangs. I think he was calling for potential of the government to work with a private partnership with industry, too, and they could put some of that cash to work doing that. They've got $350 billion, a lot they'd like to spend it on. But Greg Abel is 62 years old. Your point to 65 used to be the point of retirement. Yeah. They are looking at Greg Abel as having decades still, hopefully, to run Berkshire. That's kind of the way they look at things around here.
Yeah, that's what I was, Yeah, you're going to be CEO. You just got 26 years to wait, and you'll be 62 years old when you finally ascend to the position. It's all different than so that was my take. When I heard it, I don't know. I said, oh, that he's passing the baton finally, and it wasn't as earth-shattering. But the way he did it was obviously you were there, and it must have been classic Warren Buffett. The way that it was done, without even his board.
He did it on his terms.
Without
his board even. He did it on his terms, and I think it was. The more I thought about it afterwards, the more brilliant I thought it was. He did it after just holding court in front of tens of thousands.
Yeah, even at the end of the whole thing.
That was just live. Yeah, at the end of the whole thing, after doing question and answer for hours, for more than 4 hours. Taking this Q&A totally unscripted and running with it and proving to the world that, he's still got it. He's still all there mentally. And being able to answer all of those questions and talk kind of forever about all of these issues. I think he would have gone for longer.